Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you tonight, and God, first of all, we praise you. We praise you for who you are. God, you are the God, and thank you for loving us. Thank you for not giving up on us. God, I pray that you would continue to call people to yourself through your Son, the Lord Jesus Christ. God, I pray that every single person, before it's eternally too late, will understand the fact that they're a sinner in need of a Savior, and that Savior is Jesus Christ. So, Lord, I pray for the meeting tonight. I pray for all of those who will speak and all of those involved in helping make the best choices and decisions for this community. And God, I pray that everything will be God-honoring, and then everything will happen the way that it needs to. So, Lord, just bless the discussion and everything involved tonight. Thank you so much for those who serve our community, our township in this capacity. And God, I pray that you would continue to give them wisdom and discernment to make the best choices for everyone. So, Lord, we commit tonight to you. We ask all these things in your Son's precious name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you for attending tonight. A lot of feedback here. Let's try this. There you go. Scary. Okay, next that we have approval of the agenda, but I would like to make an addition to that to have Will Bruck speak under presentations. Can I get a motion, please?
I'll go ahead and make that motion with the changes noted.
Support.
Any discussion? Seeing none. Krista, can you take the roll?
It's Amber.
Or Amber, you going to do it? Okay.
Mr. Gore?
Aye.
Mr. Bruni?
Aye.
Mr. Stump?
Aye.
Mr. Montre?
Aye.
Ms. Jandisek?
Aye.
Hirschberger is absent. Mr. Pryor?
Aye. Motion carries. Before we start the consent agenda, I'd like to have Phil speak.
Just so the public knows, we've been advised by IT that the cable is not yet broadcasting due to an update on our computer, our internal computer. It's running slowly. It will, however, be on the YouTube as usual. So if you are attempting to watch this on cable, obviously you're not going to hear this announcement because it's not working, but hopefully it will be restored sometime during the course of this meeting.
Sure. Next we have is the consent agenda. Agenda Committee recommends to approve and place on file A, minutes from the August 19th, 2025 regular meeting of the Bedford Township Board. Do I have a motion?
Make the motion to approve the consent agenda.
Support.
Any further discussion? Seeing none. Amber, please take the roll.
Mr. Gore?
Aye.
Mr. Bruni?
Aye.
Mr. Montre?
Aye.
Mr. Stump?
Aye.
Ms. Jandisek?
Aye.
Mr. Pryor?
Aye, motion carries. Next, presentations from State Representative Will Bruck.
Thank you, Supervisor Pryor and Board, for the opportunity to speak tonight. And man, it was unanimous. You guys wanted to hear me talk, so I was told to keep it short, so I'll do my best. But it's been a great summer thus far, full of blessings and blisters. A lot of working going on at home and a little work up in Lansing. It has been, most of the summer has been off, but we've had a number of days here and there that we've been up in Lansing, and I did a couple trips up to Grayling on the Homeland Security Committee behalf to do some meetings with the National Guard and such. But we did pass the budget just over a week ago up in the House, and so that has been turned into the negotiation table. So I don't sit at that table, but there's going to be probably about 2 weeks of negotiations, I'm sure, before it comes back from the Senate. But we did pass a budget that was under $80 billion for the state, which it's been a few years since it's been under $80 billion. So there was a number of cuts that were made. I think common sense cuts and a lot of cleanup. I think that they did, in each of the departments. when it comes to employee or the budgeting item for employees that weren't actually employed. So they kind of eliminated a lot of what they're calling phantom employees. They're not even real employees, but it was just some budgeting mechanics that they eliminated, and that freed up quite a few $1 billion just in that. But yeah, we did pass that. I'm sure it will come back from the Senate looking much different. We did get the school budget passed. And again, we had set that at about $12,000 per student, but I'm certain that'll come back with a lot of categoricals back in it. So we'll see kind of where all the numbers lie in a couple weeks when negotiations are done between the Senate and the leadership in the House. So otherwise, we're starting back this week after Labor Day, so we're going to be going full force from here till probably mid-December, outside of hunting season when they give us 2 weeks off. So I'm looking forward to that already. But it's been a good summer thus far, but we have been able to get a lot of work done on the committees and such as well. So I don't have a whole lot to say, but it's an honor to be here tonight. It has been a while. I haven't been doing a whole lot in the summer doing visitings just because there wasn't a lot going on in Lansing itself. So.
Well, good. Any questions, Mr. Bruck?
Real quick, Mr. Bruck, when you passed the school budget, when that passed the House, did you guys keep in there for free and reduced lunch for all students, regardless?
What they did when the House passed the school aid budget, they took all the categoricals, one of which was the school lunch program, and essentially put that all into one per pupil cost or payment, and then leaving it up to the schools to determine what they do with that. So, I mean, the money is there, it's just not called school lunches. Right. The money was put into a per pupil rate.
I've heard nothing but positive feedbacks over the years of all kids being fed, and that's something that absolutely...
Yeah, the money is still there. I mean, the money is actually more per pupil and more with the categoricals even added to than what they had previous, but again, it was given, I'll say, as a lump sum for the school districts to determine what they want to do with it.
So it'd be up to school districts if
Yes,
they
sir.
want to keep that?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Great. Any more questions? Great.
Again, I think it'll come back from the Senate a lot different too, you know.
Okay. Can you get us like an extra park or something while you're up there? Or? Just give it your best.
Come March, you put in the request, I can put it in.
Gotcha.
The way the budget goes, you put the request in by the end of March, and then that's kind of like their cutoff date.
Gotcha.
For budget request items. So.
Good. All righty. Thanks for the update. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Will.
Thank you.
Next, we have public comment. Comments limited to 2 minutes for each individual. Please state your name and address if you like.
Well, I'm pretty shocked we only have 2 minutes again. There was some fanfare at the last meeting about giving the public their time back, but 2 weeks have passed. The manual is still being ignored. The time is still set to 2 minutes without any reason given or justification given. There was an implication at the last meeting that what's going on is okay because you're reviewing things, and review takes time. You're going to review the policy. It's your policy, but in the meantime, you still have a policy you're ignoring. In 2 weeks, if a new policy is passed, are you just going to ignore it if the supervisor or whoever doesn't like what's in it? Why do you even have a policy at that point? If any of you are interested in giving the public the time back, you should put forward a motion to give us our time back today and for the next meeting until the new policy is passed. Anything less is shameful.
Further comments?
Gail Kane, Temperance. I'm going to speak regarding the pickleball. Oddly that you would ask for another park. We can't take care of what we got. And if we do, we're not doing it right. Because of the limit in time, I sent some of you some information. I power read the park minutes. And we've been told that this has been going on for over 4 years, and that's not true. And it's been maneuvered to hide it from the CIP program for planning. M&S got $10,500 to put this out for bid, and throughout 2024, nothing ever happened. They finally got the specs not until September. They turned around, did not get bids, and after 3 attempts. So it wasn't until January of this year. I still don't see a picture of it. And I'm afraid, folks, that, for 4 years, it was started out for white. It should not happen as plotted. We should not make car parks strictly a ball field, a playscape, and pickleball courts. These courts can be versatile. The nets can be made to be movable. That way they can be used for basketball. You have an entire area at Parmalee that's void of anything. I don't know why they didn't go that direction. And I'm sorry, but I think this is a ruse to gain political votes for the next election for a select couple of people. This is not right for our parks to get themselves so focused on only one thing that's to be offered. And there are other things besides pickleball courts that deserve $50,000, such as an ADA walkway, an increase in our playscapes, safety for those. There's a ton of things that need to be done before we focus solely all this money out of general fund for pickleball. Thanks.
Very comment. Any further comments?
Matthew Bacon. I would like to thank Mr. Stump for meeting with a few other township residents and I this past Friday regarding our concerns about the Open Meetings Act and the Bedford Township Board and Administration's Manual. I think his meeting was very civilized, very productive, and helped set our expectations realistic for the verdicts we're expecting to hear in the next meeting. I am very frustrated that we've been having to continue to have these discussions about public comment time and the safety of our community regarding certain comments that were made by board members on social media and in previous town meetings. But I do want this community to be one where we can feel welcome to civilly criticize our government, whether it be local level, state level, federal level, while still feeling safe and welcome in our community. I will end my comments too on a positive note that I'm also grateful for the township for getting in touch with the Bedford Indivisible group regarding volunteer opportunities in community, because despite our frustrations, this is still a community that I care about and want to contribute positively to. So I look forward to helping out the township with any volunteer projects that we can in the future. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Any further comments?
Calder, 6508 Douglas Road, Lambertville. First time here, Planning Commission open house Monday, September 29th, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. here at Township Hall. All are welcome to attend to give feedback on the master plan process. Next note here is item 8B regarding the engineering contract with Manick & Smith. Just a couple notes and questions here. This was posted for bid November 20th, 2023, was due December 1st, which only gave 6 days with the holiday that was mixed in there for Thanksgiving, and most folks had off. With that, only one bid was returned, but the board voted unanimously on December 19th to approve this contract, and there was no discussion on why only one bid was returned and why we didn't seek other bids, like we did with the pickleball courts. This contract was offered to other firms in the area. They would have been interested in doing it, and I did speak to several of them that had no awareness that this bid had occurred. This contract is for 2 years with the option to extend for up to 5 in 1 year increments. However, negotiations must begin 3 months prior to the end of that contract, which it's now September. This was December. We got to be getting close to that. With that, are we going to extend this contract for a year, and what will the new fee structure be? Are we going to get a volume discount for the amount of work that's been provided to Manick & Smith with the maintenance building, the gazebo, the pickleball courts, and all the design and oversight associated with those? Or are we going to go back out to bid for a new firm? Additionally, in terms of public comment, I'm in favor of reverting to the old forum of 5 minutes before and 2 minutes after, with the exception that Q&A should be provided on presentations to allow the public time to ask questions of those officials before they leave the meeting. Typically, public comment is after that, and they have left before those questions can be asked. This aligns with the school board and is similar to planning and BZA. I think limiting public comment due to fear of criticism is unfounded, and I think several board members up here would agree with that based on their previous comments. When you run for a public office or you're appointed to a public commission, you open yourself up to unfavorable criticism based on your decisions and actions, whether they be on the board or outside the board. And if you take that oath of office, you open yourself up to that. You should accept that. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Any further comments from the public? Seeing none, we're going to be moving on. New business, vouchers for payment.
I'd like to make a motion that the following vouchers be approved for payment. General Fund, $44,540.77. Fire Fund, $37,561.59. Fire Equipment Fund, $10,036.28. Downtown Development Authority, $1,549.45. Library Fund, $9,622.60. Capital Asset Revolving Fund, $12,284. EDA Construction, $256.50. Building Department, $5,162.67. Sewer O&M Fund, $2,732.21 for a grand total of $113,746.07.
Support.
Any discussion? Seeing none, please take the roll. Amber?
Ms. Janusik?
Aye.
Mr. Montroy?
Aye.
Mr. Bruning?
Aye.
Mr. Gore?
Aye.
Mr. Stump?
Aye.
Mr. Pryor?
Aye, motion carries. Next is 8B, approve inspection contract for pickleball courts at Carr Park. In terms of that contract with Mannequin Smith, it's for inspection. It's also for testing. It's advised that anytime we do a government project of this nature, we should have an engineering firm take a look at it and review it. We did have a situation where we didn't have engineers that were not involved in the project, and it's been nothing but headaches. So that's what we're looking at. I know it's not the most inexpensive thing, but it's one of the best insurance policies that we can have when you involve an engineer. Do we have any questions, thoughts, comments?
A couple things. That project, too, I would add, is the type of project that there were issues, is the type of project that you would think, what's going to go wrong? It's pretty simple, straight, cut and dry, and countless issues, and almost with very difficult remedies at best to solve those. So I definitely see the value in that. Now we had Jim Jacobs do this same, basically this same
For the building.
role for the building, right?
Exactly.
And that went fantastic.
Oh, definitely.
Was with limited to no issues through the whole project. That being said, it's kind of, it seems like a lot of money for what? I guess a couple questions. Are we contracted with Mannequin Smith in this regard?
Yeah, in terms for engineering services.
These services, they are our contracted engineer.
Correct.
Correct?
Correct.
So if we wanted to bid that out or use someone else or anything like that, it would be the process of the next time we rebid that contract. Like, we could look for a new firm to contract with for future reference, but because of that contract, that's why that's who we're going with.
And also,
They're our
too,
contracted firm.
right, they're our contracted firm. They also design the pickleball courts as well. So just like Jim Jacobs, he designed the building in the back.
He's going to oversee it.
He's overseeing it. So, and like we did have like one problem over there with the concrete, and it all got ripped out and replaced. I would have not wanted to be our own general contractor and to be fighting with the trades.
Yep.
He can do that. So, which they did, and Krista was there, and it was resolved in a timely manner, which was good. But in terms of the thing where you look at a pickleball court, you may say, well, that, you know, what really can go wrong? Well, a lot of things can go wrong. First of all, there's a difference in the type of asphalt mix that you have between a tennis court or a pickleball court than you do a road. You have compaction testing, so you're looking for possible sinkholes, things of that nature that could happen.
Grading.
Yeah, grading, the drainage. You don't want your pickleball courts flooded, okay, after a rain, and everybody drives by and says, oh, look, they're flooded, can't use them. So there's a lot of things in terms that come into play like this. So, any other thoughts, questions? Todd?
Yeah, I'm just going to add for the public in case they don't understand what you and Craig were talking about. They're talking about the basketball court that was put in. It was put in without any engineering consultant at all, and it floods every time it rains, the way land is and everything else. So just so everyone's on the same page, that's the what they were talking about when they said it was done without engineering approval.
Which you, or at least I would assume, that's the type of thing. It's a slab of concrete. Mm-hmm. What are you going to need to pay somebody extra to watch over that? And it needed it. A question I would have is, how does this contract, for Phil, how would this contract work? Is it an insurance policy of sorts that Mannequin Smith, so say you do have a mess, is Mannequin Smith liable to clean up the problem, or would we still be financially, if, say they didn't do their job, are we still financially liable for fixing whatever issues? Oh, yep, that whole thing needs dug up and replaced, and they're not going to do it. How does that work?
Well, 2 points. Mannequin Smith designed the pickleball courts. That design was used for the bidding process. So the successful bidder, and it's the next item on our agenda, and it went before the park board at their last meeting, if the successful bidder and the contract that we have in front of us tonight is accepted by the Township Board, if that is accepted, then Mannequin Smith will be monitoring their work. They'll be on site every day monitoring their work, which didn't happen with this other project that we just spoke about, that Mr. Bruning just spoke about, which turned out much less than good. Let's be nice, but much less than good. So to directly answer your question, if we hire an engineering firm who designed the project and then is on site to monitor the project to make sure that it's constructed per the specs, we would have a claim against the engineering firm if the project is later proven not to be constructed pursuant to the specs and it fails in some regard. And so the contract that you'll look at next was written in favor of the contractor. I amended it in many, many respects. Just to give you an example, they wanted 1/3 of the contract price paid up front. I said, no, you will get paid as you work on the project and after it's inspected by our engineer and it passes inspection because it conforms with the specifications. So they agreed to that. They didn't want to provide a warranty of merchantability or a warranty of fitness for a particular purpose. And I said, no, you know you're building a pickleball court. It's different than a parking lot. It's different than a road. It has to meet the specs. So you have to give us a warranty of merchantability, which they ended up doing in the terms of this contract, unless the specs were somehow deficient that were prepared by our other contractor, Mannequin Smith, our engineer. So long answer to your question, but it's it's not an insurance policy per se, but it is a, I believe it's a necessary step. Yes, it's an expenditure, but I think in the end it's money well spent because Manick and Smith over the years, they have performed very well for the township. They'll have an engineer on site during the construction process to make sure that it conforms with the specs. They know if it doesn't, and they let it pass inspection, that we have a claim against them and their insurance carrier.
Just a quick question. With our contracted engineer, Manick and Smith, I think Kyle touched on it with the contract. Is that something that will automatically renew with them and whenever that time comes up, or is it going to be put out for bid? How does that
we can always bid. I'm a big believer in sending things out for bid.
How long have we been with them?
We just did.
They did before.
I forget when it was.
No, I mean, we've been with them for a while. I think, Mr.
Quite a while.
How long do you know? I mean, I know a long time.
They were here when I
been with them for a long, probably
at least
forever.
8 years that we know of, probably.
I don't remember when it was. Handful that we extended their agreement, but relatively recently, that whole thing was rebid, and like we looked at a couple other engineering firms, but I don't remember. I don't remember when that was.
It was, but I couldn't tell you when it was. It was put out for bid, let's say several years ago.
Okay, and that's the process then. Next time it'll be also put out for bid, or it's an automatic renewal kind of a thing?
It's up to the board.
So some things, when it comes to contracts, you may not put it out. You may do an automatic renewal, just like what we do with our computers. Okay, we've had great success with them, and they deal strictly with governments, and we know them, we've used them. So to switch because somebody might be $1,000 a year less might not be a good idea.
And that's,
you know what I mean?
Another example that we did very recently. That we've been with IT Right or whatever they're called now,
right,
for however long. Put it back out for bid. Let's see what else is out there. We recontracted with the same company that we'd been with for however long, but when we looked at their at the bids, that's who you stuck with for a variety of reasons. But yeah, it's the board's pleasure is the answer to that. That's if we want to, or if anybody says, hey, this contract is coming up, let's put it back out.
Yeah,
let's put it back out.
No reason why we can't. It's like, so. Any other questions?
Do you know when? I think he had asked, do you know when that is?
No, I'd have to check with the
off the top of your head.
You can look and see.
Yep.
I don't remember if that was a 3 or a 5.
Something like that.
Remember how long?
Okay. Any other questions of Phil? Can I get a motion to approve the Manick and Smith contract?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll make a motion. We approve the contract with Manick and Smith for inspection and testing for pickleball courts at Carr Park. The funds will come from number 447-000-976.0054, and it's going to be for a fee of $21,780.
Great.
Support.
We have support. Any further discussion? Seeing none. Amber, please take the roll.
Was that Mr. Gore that second?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Bruning?
Aye.
Mr. Gore?
Aye.
Ms. Janusek?
Aye.
Mr. Montry?
Aye.
Mr. Stump?
Aye.
Mr. Pryor?
Aye, motion carries. Next is 8C, approved contract with ASI for pickleball courts. Phil, you want to take this since you worked on this quite a bit?
Sure. You have before you in your packet a proposed contract with ASI. That contract in its current form was approved by the Park Board at its last meeting. It is now before you for approval. I made quite a few changes to this contract because, as I earlier stated, it was kind of a one-sided contract in favor of the contractor. So everything from when payments are due to the warranty of fitness for a particular purpose to our remedies under the contract have been addressed. Actually, the gentleman that I worked with from ASI was good to work with. He was, let me tell you this, if the people who come out to do the work are as responsive as this gentleman was in working with us to put a contract in form that's acceptable to a municipality such as ours, then we'll have a successful project when it's completed. One thing I didn't mention, there's a value in having the engineer in that and this was a subject that we talked a lot about in negotiating this contract, is when you have whenever you do a project like this, you have to call Miss Dig and find out where the underground utilities are. What Miss Dig doesn't identify are private utilities that are not, they're not on public records in any way. Actually, we're having an issue with our building here because we had a water line that was broken that was a private, not a public utility, because it's on our property here. It wasn't identified, and when construction was occurring recently, I think Consumers was involved in that, putting in underground electric lines. That water line was ruptured, and there was a cost item. We're negotiating that currently. But Manick & Smith is going to be responsible for making sure with Miss Dig that all public underground utilities are identified and marked, and private utilities are identified and marked, because we don't want to hit any of those during the construction process. That's an example of the value of an engineer being on site and monitoring, and some of our discussions here, because I told them, you're building a project, we're not going to do your work for you. We're not going to go out and identify utility lines. You got to contact Miss Dig. We don't know where those utility lines are, but Miss Dig does. If we know of any underground utility lines that might be private, of course we're going to let you know that there's a possibility that they exist, and here's where they might exist, and let's investigate it further so we can determine that. If we knew that there was an underground storage tank, of course we're going to let you know that. We're not going to hide it from you and later say, hey, gotcha. But that is an example of the type of negotiations that I did with them to get this contract where I'm comfortable with it, where the township is protected. I didn't talk at all about with them about contract price, because that's what the bidding process is for. So at that point, it's more or less inappropriate to try to renegotiate a contract price that's already gone through the public bidding process. So that was not done, but the language itself has been amended, and I'm happy with it at this point, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have with respect to any particular provision within that contract. It's hard to read, it's in real small font, but I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions of Phil? Or?
Can we just get this project going? We've been
talking we are.
about pickleball courts forever.
It's going to happen real quick.
Let's get it going.
They're ready.
They're ready to go, Joe.
No,
ready to start construction.
Want to move on from this project.
They're ready to go. Would you like to make the motion?
Yeah. I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve the contract with ASI for the pickleball courts as listed for $219,225. And the funds will be coming from 447-000-976.0054.
Support. Any further discussion? Seeing none. Amber, would you please take the roll?
Mr. Gore?
Aye.
Mr. Bruni?
Aye.
Mr. Stump?
Aye.
Ms. Janasek?
Aye.
Mr. Montry?
Aye.
Mr. Pryor?
Aye, motion carries. Next is 8D, request to waive permit and inspection fees for the Bedford Library kitchen remodel. We need to waive the fees on this. It comes out to like $454. Basically, when we're waiving this, we'd be paying ourselves. But we have to go through a motion to do this. So I need a motion to waive the fees for the kitchen remodel at the library.
I make a motion, we waive the permit and inspection fees for the Bedford Library kitchen remodel project.
Support.
Further discussion? Seeing none, Amber, please take the roll.
Mr. Bruning?
Aye.
Mr. Gore?
Aye.
Mr. Montry?
Aye.
Mr. Stump?
Aye.
Ms. Janusek?
Aye.
Mr. Pryor?
Aye, motion carries. Phil, would you like to take this one? This is for discussion only about the American Tower lease.
Yes, if you look out our back windows here, you will see a cell tower. It's been there for quite a few years, and the original land lease was entered into with Verizon Wireless, LLC. And then there have been co-locations on that cell tower by other carriers, and we have received some of the rents from that as well. So right now, the American Tower Company, which is the successor in rights to Verizon, would like to extend that lease. We have a multi-year lease with 5-year extensions. They are willing to substantially increase the per month lease rate with the same rent escalator, 3% per year, and they would like 6 additional 5-year lease periods. That's one option available to us. The rent would go up to $3,500 per month. Another option available to us is a $850,000 lump sum payment for an exclusive easement on the existing lease space, which is legally identified, with a non-exclusive easement for access and utilities to the current existing footprint, which they have an easement so that they can get their workmen, trucks, et cetera, into the site to perform work that needs to be performed to maintain that tower. Another proposal is 120 monthly payments of $7,500 for an exclusive easement on the existing lease space. So we've got some options available to us, but my experience over the last 41 years is that this is negotiable, and this probably isn't their best offer. So what I'm going to recommend, I wanted you as a board to be aware that they've approached us, that they want to renegotiate. Their objective is they want a longer lease term for this particular tower site. It's important to their network. So the quid pro quo for us is payment of more money. And so if that tower is going to remain there, and you want it to remain there, and you're willing to extend the lease period for a reasonable increase or a lump sum payment that would go into the general fund to be used for other township purposes, we can do that. What I'm going to suggest is that you allow me to negotiate with them, with our 3 full-time elected officials, our supervisor, our clerk, and our treasurer, and bring it back to you after some negotiation occurs to see what your pleasure is later.
If we were to go with the lump sum, that would go to the general fund and we could use it for anything, or it would be for specific purposes?
No, it would go to general fund, Josh. This is not restricted, so it could be used for other purposes. So we'd have to look at the terms of what they're offering and what makes sense. Sometimes a lump sum better. Take it, invest it, and use it for other township projects. Sometimes a long-term lease agreement is better because at the end of that agreement it nets you more money, and that in part depends on the financial health with this company and what the projection is for them to be here for 30 years from now. Technology is always changing, so maybe on something like this we would want to consider a lump sum payment because the needs for cell towers, they may change and probably will change. They've changed since this cell tower has been here.
How long are they asking for? If you do a lump sum payment, are they asking how many years? They want 6 additional 5-year lease periods, so 30 additional years. 30 additional years. Okay. So I will not be here in 30 years, more likely than not. And like you said, technology is changing, and I remember back in the day, and you, Phil and Hal, I'm going to date us, but went from 8 tracks to cassettes to CDs to everything. You're like, wow, it cannot get any better. It cannot. Probably in 30 years, cell phone towers would be obsolete.
When I was a police officer, we used a can with a string.
I remember those days, Phil. I remember going to a payphone and having to call into dispatch on a payphone. So technology changes, of course, but they can do better than $850,000. There's no
I'm sure they
question about
can.
it. So this is just let's throw some crap at the wall and see what sticks first. And we're not. So I'm all for the lump sum payment. Was what I'd be leaning towards, but it's got to be more than $850,000.
Probably not 30 years either.
Yeah, it's all of that is negotiable. We don't have to do anything if you choose not to. Matter of fact, I brought a proposal back to you. It's been quite a few years ago, and we decided not to pursue it because the offer was much less attractive than this offer is. This is a good starting point.
Yeah.
So we'll have Phil start the negotiations then?
I want to keep our 3 full-time elected officials involved in that process. Matter of fact, I want them involved in that process so that we as a group can respond to you, and then we as a group, no decisions will be made. It's less than a quorum. No deliberation will occur, so it's not a violation of the Open Meetings Act. It's us negotiating with them and bringing something back. We won't even recommend it to you. We're going to bring it back and let you go through it and decide what your collective wisdom is best for the township.
Does that go with the board? Okay. Any other questions of Phil? Okay. Moving on. Comments from Township Board members. Mr. Stump.
Prayers out to the teachers and students starting back school this week. It's chaotic, always that first week of school. And Mr. Gore, you guys are back at school up in Dundee as well. So prayers to all those families out there. That's all.
Mr. Bruni.
Everyone have a good night, good weekend. Bedford football started off pretty bad. They got destroyed 41-0, I believe. Got off to a good start.
Was it like the state champs, though, or something like that?
I don't know. I'd ask Krista who they played. I didn't know, but not that good. And then also, I would like to thank, I think he's here. I don't remember his name, but he's from the Invisible group. Last week, he brought it to our attention about the ICE detainers. I just assumed we did. So I actually called Troy to find out for you. Troy's the sheriff. Oh, dumbass. So I spoke with Troy, and Troy says yes, they will honor all detainers. They will help any federal troops anytime when asking. And he also told me that they have about 120 of them in custody right now. So that was good to hear. And then also, if anyone out there needs it, the illegal immigrant hotline number is 1-866-347-2423 if anyone needs to report any illegals. And the ICE website is ice.gov/tipline. Thanks.
Mr. Gore.
So I want to address the public comment time again. Enough with it. I want these folks to have their 5 and 2 at the next meeting. Okay, it needs to be done. It was taken away. Give it back and for the next meeting, and then we can discuss whatever's going on. But they deserve the 5 and 2. It's ridiculous we're even talking about it. We just need to put that to rest, and we need to move forward from it. They deserve their time, and we need to have that time back. And I know
we'll have it resolved by next meeting.
Yes, it needs to be resolved. So thank you.
Yep. Mr. Montry.
Yeah, I'll say it again. I echo Mr. Gore's sentiments in that regard. The Planning Commission is having an open house meeting here at Township Hall regarding the master plan. That will be September 29th, which is a Monday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. It'll be an open house where there's going to be a bunch of steps going through for the master plan, but that's one of the next big steps, and that will be coming to us. What the Planning Commission just approved, I believe, is coming to this board our next meeting, which is just getting the ball rolling and really getting that project working and moving forward. So open house September 29th, 6 to 8 p.m. All that the community is involved and invited here in the boardroom. That's it.
Just a reminder that property taxes are due Monday, September 15th. Since the 14th is on a Sunday, we are giving till the 15th, which is Monday. Anytime it falls on a weekend or a holiday, we give to the next business day. If you can't make it here on Monday, we do have a drop box that you can put it in. If it's in our drop box by 8 a.m. on Tuesday, it will be considered on time. Anything after 8 a.m. is late. They take payments at First Merchants in Temperance, not the Lambertville, just the Temperance office. And they take payments at Fifth Third. That's all I have.
Great. I forgot to drop it off on time.
Then you're late.
I know, that's what I feel. That's what my fear is.
Just a couple things in terms of the public comments is to let you all know that has changed several times since 1997, and it was even changed by a past supervisor that was sitting out in the audience who cut it short. So it will be resolved. We do have examples of what other townships are doing, and if this board decides they want to keep it the way it is, that's fine too. Okay, but it will be resolved. It's the same way with our policy. Our policy, believe it or not, you don't even need to have a board policy. But that policy was enacted by a previous board, and some of it is not relatable, and it needs to be corrected. So, yes, by next meeting, the policy probably won't be all resolved, but the public comment will be.
They'll have more time for public comment?
Yes, we will. The way I'm looking at this, we will take a look at it. We will, if we vote it, and if you guys say, hey, this is what we're going to do, okay, at the beginning of the meeting, we can grant 5 minutes, and we can do 2. You can change it every meeting if you choose to do that. So we could say, okay, this is what the start is for this meeting, if that's what the board wants to do, and then you review it, and then you can decide on what the policy is. You might decide, hey, I want to do 6 minutes all up front, or I want to do 4 and 3, or I want to do however that is.
So you're leaving it up to the board at the next meeting. It'll be on the agenda.
Yes, you guys are going to decide what the time is. Okay? Looking back in past history, I don't think it went to the board. I think the supervisors just automatically changed it. I can't verify that because I don't have the minutes from those meetings.
And maybe this is a question for Phil. Yeah. Yes, we have to have public comment, but the board or the supervisor controls the time, or the board does as far as what we want to do, or can we change it each meeting? Because I prefer not to do that.
No, we're not going to change each meeting.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
But if you want to grant more meetings,
legality-wise, I want to make sure that they have their time that they are warranted.
I want this board to eventually, and sooner than later, adopt a policy that's allowed by the Open Meetings Act that will specify when public comment will be on the agenda and how much time will be allotted to each speaker for public comment. It can't change on a meeting-by-meeting basis. Right. There has to be consistency. Public has to know what time will be allotted to them to speak during public comment time and when that will be. So as soon as possible, I would like the board to adopt a policy. But in the interim, if it's the pleasure of the board to go back to what we had historically been doing, at least for the last couple of years, where we would do the 5 and 2, that we do that. But I want a policy that pertains just to public comment, as allowed by the Open Meetings Act, as suggested by the Open Meetings Act, so that there's consistency. You know when public comment will be. They know when public comment will be. And then I think we'll be in compliance, or we will be in compliance with the Open Meetings Act.
Yep. But I think the board has to make that decision. I don't think one person makes that decision to say, here's what we're going to do.
Yeah,
So,
and a policy,
right.
of course, has to be adopted by the board. So, Al, you're 100% right.
Yep. Great. Okay, so we have that. Building's almost done. We probably have 2 more construction meetings, and we'll probably have most of it all wrapped up. So everything's going pretty good. Concrete was replaced, like they said. So we're moving ahead on that one. Drinking fountains should start the installation probably next week. Is tentatively what's going on. So we have that happening. Black fence has been extended. They started work on that today at Car Park. So we got that in the works happening, which is pretty neat. As soon as we call ASI tomorrow, Joe, they're going to start cranking on the courts. They were ready to go this week, but I said, I don't have a signed contract. I can't do it this week. So we had to wait and get that, so we're pretty happy about that. As for having pickleball courts there, it's more than just pickleball courts, folks. What it is, it's also economic development for downtown Temperance. Okay? They need more draws there for those businesses. And when you have pickleball courts, it's going to draw them there. Plus, we have a lot of kids, too, that play basketball there. And believe it or not, we also have a lot of people come in from Toledo using our park. I know because I live by there, and you can see the plates. So I think it's a good thing for pickleball courts to be there, and I think it's going to work out quite well. And it's very visible. So the park board is doing a pretty good job of getting things done and moving forward and thinking about. It's kind of like with Mannequin Smith. They were like, oh yeah, we need to do that. They were like, yep. So they're moving in the right direction. So I think we're all pretty pleased with that. Banner Oak, you're all invited September 8th. It's a potluck at Banner Oak School. If you've never been to Banner Oak School, the Bedford Historical Society, it's a one-room schoolhouse. You can go there. It's furnished back in the day. The school was built after the Civil War, and it was built by an architect, I believe, he actually served in the Civil War. So there's a lot of history in the Banner Oak School. Bring a dessert or whatever. They talk about the school. I go every year. Chicken's usually great. So that's thanks. Huh? Yeah, Banner Oak. It's right there at Crab, and you get at Stearns. So, and it starts at 1 o'clock. And sometimes they have music there too. So they put it on. It's a good luncheon, so that we have that. Otherwise, things are going fairly well at the township. And good luck, Bedford Mules. Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.